Americans were blatantly lied to about the security of our election infrastructure, including
Hey everyone, welcome back. In part 1, we covered how the relationship between the USA and Iran turned sour after the 1979 Islamic Revolution. We saw Ayatollah Khomeini's rise, the US embassy hostage crisis with 52 Americans held captive, and the failed Operation Eagle Claw, where helicopters crashed in the desert. Now in part 2, we continue the story from the 1980s all the way to 2026. This is the tale of deepening enmity, proxy wars, nuclear tensions, and major events that shape the conflict even today. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, check it out first. Like, subscribe, and let's dive in. Right after the hostage crisis, in 1980, the Iran-Iraq War erupted. Saddam Hussein's Iraq invaded Iran. The United States quietly supported Iraq with intelligence, weapons, and economic aid. Why? To weaken the new revolutionary Iran. The war lasted 8 long years and killed hundreds of thousands on both sides. Iran felt that America was always backing its enemies. In 1988, a tragic incident made things even worse. The US Navy shot down Iran Air Flight 655, killing all 290 civilians on board, including many children. The US called it an accident, but for Iran, it was clear proof of American hostility. Even after the war ended, heavy sanctions remained in place, and diplomatic ties stayed completely broken. Throughout the 1990s, the US imposed more sanctions on Iran, citing its nuclear program and alleged support for terrorism. Iran was labeled a rogue state. In 2002, President George W. Bush delivered his famous speech naming Iran as part of the Axis of Evil, along with Iraq and North Korea. This angered Iran deeply, especially since they had quietly helped the US in Afghanistan after the 9/11 attacks. During the 2000s, Iran's nuclear program became a major global concern. The US and Israel suspected Iran was developing nuclear weapons. Sanctions and threats continued for years. Between 2013 and 2015, there was a brief moment of hope. Under President Barack Obama, the United States and Iran, along with other world powers, P5+1, reached the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, better known as the Iran nuclear deal. Iran agreed to limit its nuclear activities in exchange for relief from sanctions. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani also pushed for diplomacy. For a while, it seemed like tensions might ease. But in 2018, President Donald Trump withdrew the US from the JCPOA and launched a maximum pressure campaign. He reimposed tough sanctions that severely damaged Iran's economy. Tensions peaked in January 2020 when the US carried out a drone strike in Iraq that killed top Iranian General Qasem Soleimani. Iran retaliated with missile attacks on US bases in Iraq. In response, Iran began stepping away from the nuclear deal limits. In the following years, the conflict played out through proxies, groups like Hezbollah, the Houthis, and Iraqi militias, creating indirect fighting between Iran and the US-Israel alliance. Direct tensions between Iran and Israel also rose sharply, leading to missile exchanges and strikes. In 2025-2026, the situation escalated further. Reports indicate US and Israeli strikes targeted Iranian nuclear facilities. There were also diplomatic talks, but deep mistrust remains. Today, the United States still views Iran as one of its biggest threats in the Middle East, while Iran sees America as its primary enemy. This rivalry affects everything: oil prices, regional stability, and the constant shadow of nuclear concerns. From the 1950s all the way to 2026, the enmity between the USA and Iran is not just between two countries. It's a clash of ideologies, power, and strategic interests. Will there be a major breakthrough in the future, or will tensions keep rising? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you like part 1 and part 2, edit them together into one full video and upload it. Share it with your friends and help the channel grow. And if you haven't seen my part 1 video, go and watch that first. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.